Last year, after I bought the big military truck, I started shopping around for a matching trailer that would let me haul the excavator and the skid steer behind the dump truck. And I was shocked at how expensive they were. So I headed off to my favorite place, Facebook Marketplace, and I found this diamond in the rough for 4,000 bucks. It's got great bones, but it's obviously pretty rough. So in this video, I'm gonna be giving this trailer a complete restoration. We're talking all new decking, a new jack on the front, all new wiring, new airlines, going through the brakes and the wheel bearings. We're gonna be giving this thing an entire new paint job. And by the end of this video, this is gonna look like a brand new trailer. Let's get started. Oh, it's a long ways up. I just cannot help but have the biggest grin on my face whenever I drive this truck. Like, this truck is the coolest truck ever. I'm sure some of you can relate to spending the entire day just getting ready for the project that you really wanted to start, but first you had to get set up. That's it for today. Tomorrow, we'll start working on a trailer. We always say the hardest part of a project is just getting started, and that's sort of where I'm at right now. I've got a list in my head of everything I need to do. I know what I want the finished product to look like, but I don't know where to start. Question is, how stuck are these? Not stuck at all. They've been rattling around in the woods for years. All right, yank with your back. Okay, think smarter. WWA, what would Andy do? Not even attached. Work harder, not smarter. I said that wrong. These boards have some kind of coating on them that I think is probably years of people spraying their old motor oil on it after they did an oil change. I think these boards are original, so 1960 something, and that's pretty impressive that they've lasted this many years. Come on, board. Come back, Jack. Where are you going? So I think next I'm gonna remove this plate because it's not really attached anyways. And I'm gonna remove this one because, well, I think it's pretty obvious why it needs to be removed. Ooh. All right, well, there's a first time for everything, and in this case, it's new tool day, and it's gonna be my first time ever using a 7-inch grinder. How do you turn it on? Whoa. And the goal is gonna be to carefully cut right along the edge of the weld and then peel this whole thing off. Oh my gosh, why didn't I own one of these like 10 years ago? Now what I'd like to do is do the same thing I did with the wood, and I'm gonna lift up with the floor jack and see if I can get that sort of peel off or if I need to cut more. I have a feeling that I'm about to get very wet and very dirty. Oh, what am I doing wrong? Oh, that was choke on. I had the choke off. Choke on? Oh yeah, she's gonna start. Ah! Can't really avoid this any longer. Time to get dirty. Before we flip the trailer over, and while it's still hooked up to the military truck, I have an idea that might be a really bad idea. Right in the middle there somewhere, it's got a little bend. And I think that if I load the skid steer on the trailer and then pick up on the back with the excavator, we might be able to get that bend out. I think it's gonna work. see that right now it's slightly bowed the opposite way. And I think we're just gonna set it down and say that's as good as we can get it, which is a lot better than it used to be. I honestly have no idea how much this trailer weighs, and I don't really know what to expect here. Can this excavator even lift it? And then is it gonna go rolling away on me? There we go. Sweet! This is also a good chance to show you the walking beam suspension I was talking about. This is one of the cool features of this trailer. Basically, the way this works is this pivot point here is attached to the frame of the trailer, and then this arm right here, the beam, then attaches to each trailer axle, where there's another pivot here and here, which lets each axle can articulate independently like this, but there's no like physical suspension parts to brake. So there's no springs, there's no airbags. It's just a mechanical thing that moves up and over a bump and limits the amount of movement that the trailer does. Looking around, like all of this seems to be in good condition. I think, you know, all these moving parts and the brake chambers look good, and I can see the brakes from here. There's tons of pad life left. Can you see the pad here? All of a sudden I felt really warm. I looked down, I burned a hole in my outer shirt and in my Diesel Creek shirt. Dang it. Good morning, day 2 here on the trailer project. I'm checking over my list this morning to see where I'm at. I think we're doing all right. I'm hoping that by the end of today, we're ready for paint. I am saying it now, I'm going to paint this trailer. That's what's gonna make this whole rebuild worth it. The next project I'm gonna do is gonna be to get the big grinder out and just like clean up all the nasty spots on the trailer. The things that, like old welds that need to be ground off smooth. There's like stuff like this that needs to get cut off. I'm gonna get all that cleaned up while it's outside, and then I'm gonna pull it into the shop to do the jack and the chain box. Today I'm drinking the Ambition Strikes Build It blend. And as I was doing all that grinding, I was sort of thinking about what this coffee and what that Build It mantra means to us on this channel. And that's sort of how Courtney and I tackle a lot of the projects that we tackle. We don't necessarily have it figured out ahead of time, but we have a vision for what we want the finished product to be or to look like. And we'll just start doing something, anything. Break time's over, it's time to go build it. If you'd like to build it with us, head on over to ambitionstrikes.com, grab yourself a bag of Build It blend, and let's go build this project. Quick update here. I found the date code on this tire, 4820, which means the 48th week, December of 2020, which makes these tires a little over 5 years old. Commercial tires like this, probably good for about 10, so they're about halfway through their expected lifespan. It's also nice that these stay under the deck, so they're out of the sun all the time. I have no idea what happened to this old jack, but you can see it's bad. So it probably got drug on something or towed away while it was down, or here's the new jack. Tell you what, it's gonna be nice to have a jack though, and not use the high lift anymore. Definitely broken. Oh my gosh, everything is heavy. This can go like that, and then this can turn. Haha. It's gonna be nice to have a function. Oh my gosh, my welder lead is almost long enough. Let's see, can I get another 2 inches out of this thing? There we go. Keep looking at this little thing and it's killing me. I have to know what's inside here. Even the previous owner told me he'd never opened it. Oh man. Bigger wrench. You would have thought I'd learned my lesson on this one by now, but I haven't. There it goes. What was so important that they had to weld a piece of pipe to the trailer? If it was like $1,000 or something crazy. State of Washington, Department of Licensing, December of 1997. It is a 1978 Hyster LB. That's about all we get off of this. White. That's newer than I thought it was. It's probably a good thing for finding replacement parts for the axles. I want to build a place on this where I can put all the chains and binders that go with tying it down the equipment. right here, I think that'd be perfect. So my plan is to basically just build a little sunken box right here where the chains and binders can just live. I'm gonna do it using the old diamond plate that we cut off the deck. Aha! In typical us fashion, things are getting a little hectic today. Hoping to get this thing painted. It's all prepped, it's all ready for paint. I'm gonna start by flipping it up so that we can paint the underside, and then we'll finish by painting the top. And I'm saying leave because Courtney is here to help. Yay for Courtney!
Riley's stressing out right now that we're gonna run out of time, but we're actually about to start painting at my second favorite time.
Which is in the afternoon when it's windy?
In the dark.
In the dark.
We're gonna get this trailer painted. I actually kind of feel a little bit guilty because I feel like I get to swoop in and do like the really satisfying step, and Riley's had to do all the really crummy, dirty, hard work this week. What color are we painting your trailer?
Oh, it's like the old Ford tractor gray from a 9N. The official stir stick of Ambition Mountain. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, go. I got it all over. We've painted a few trailers, and we found that if you go down to like the local tractor store, they're always gonna have some kind of tractor paint, and with it they're gonna sell a reducer and an enamel hardener, and if you just mix these according to the directions on the back, it works every time. And it dries fast and hard. Way better than rattle cans, like way better than rattle cans, and a lot cheaper. It's crazy how like, I didn't put that much reducer in, you know, compared to the paint, and it makes it like how much thinner that is now.
Where did we learn to paint like this? From Jim?
I think so. Our shop neighbor that used to be like an old body shop guy. I'm sure if he saw what we were doing, he'd cringe, but he's the one that taught us about the hardener.
You got this. Yeah. So now, the bottom of the trailer seems like a good place to test my spray pattern.
Geez, Courtney, I turn around and you're already halfway done. So the gun Courtney's using is called a pressure pot gun, and the thing that's cool about it is that unlike most HVLP sprayers that have the cup on top of the gun, this one, the cup is like remote, so it holds way more paint than a normal paint gun, and you can also spray at any direction, any angle. I think that one's like 50 or 60 bucks at Harbor Freight. It seems easier to just paint everything than try to like not. Although you did just paint right over the data tag with all the information. It used to be there.
Do you want me to wipe it off?
No, you couldn't read it anyways.
I'm out of paint.
But the other problem.
Oh, I can't see.
You're doing a great job. Check the receipt. I think Courtney spent about 250 bucks on paint and painting supplies. Mix it up. So what that does is it makes the paint thinner so that it can spray through the paint gun more effectively. It also allows the paint to self-level more, so once all the little droplets of paint hit the surface, they can kind of like flow out and connect to each other to get a more smooth finish. All right, paint's ready for Courtney. I think it's time to flip it over.
You're gonna roll away when you flip it over right now?
I don't know.
Oh, I just lost air pressure. Oh.
You're thinking.
I tapped out and I'm letting Riley paint all the stuff that requires crawling underneath the trailer. Getting everything set up feels like it's taking forever and it's never gonna get done. And then as soon as you start spraying, it goes so stinking fast. Looks really good. I like the gray. I'll check back in with you tomorrow when we put a deck on it.
Gonna play with the Jeep Buddy? Yeah, do you want the remote?
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we left it on last time. Hopefully it still works. Paint is done, which means I think that the next thing on the list that I'm gonna tackle is new lighting. Wires go in, line up the bolts. And do the holes line up? Oh yeah. Are you helping, Dad? All right, all new lights all the way around are mounted. What do you think?
Looks really good.
It does look way better. It's like, is it even the same trailer?
Yes.
Yes. I tried to reuse this nifty little terminal block right here that was gonna make it really easy to wire it. And as soon as I put the socket to it to try to take the nuts out, they all just broke. I like to use these marine grade crimp connectors for doing automotive wiring. These have heat shrink tubing already on them and a glue inside of it that helps to just sort of glue the wires in and also make sure that the entire connection is watertight. There it goes. Something that I learned back when we used to work on rock crawlers is it's actually not recommended to solder joints on things that move down the road, like cars and trailers. The wire can break right at the edge of the solder joint. Crimp connectors are actually the recommended way to do automotive wiring. All of the wiring connections have been made, which means it's time to test them. Okay, step one, running lights. And light. All right, all the running lights work. Left turn is working. I think the only way that I have to check the brakes is to film it and then rewatch the footage. So I'm gonna check the brakes now. You guys let me know in the comments, did they work? That's a pretty satisfying feeling. All of the lights on this trailer work, including the license plate light. Which means next up is new deck. Perfect. Classic Courtney move in the background, making things pretty. The best thing about working on a trailer is that you have a built-in workbench. That's gonna look so much better.
Okay, I learned this trick from Tyler Perkins a long time ago on how to paint wheels without having to like fully mask or tape them off, and it is the best thing ever. You just use index cards. You just paint away. Oh yeah.
Courtney, did we ever talk about the rebar in the video? I don't think so. So right before we painted, I also decided to add these pieces of rebar to the trailer deck. They're welded right to the deck. And those are to give our excavator traction when we start climbing, because I noticed before that the excavator liked to kind of slide around a little bit right at the beginning. So I'm hoping that these help sort of like keep it lined up on the trailer when we load it. Ah, battery's dying. All right, that is everything off the list. New deck, new airlines, new lights, new chain box. We replaced the jack. We've repainted it. It's got a brand new deck. This trailer, look at it. I'm pumped with how this trailer came out. We spent $4,000 on this trailer, $160 on the jack, $200 on paint, $65 on lights, and $410 on decking. All in, we're into this trailer, $4,835 and about 4 days of work. And when you consider the fact that comparable trailers range somewhere between $25,000 and $35,000, I think this is a pretty darn good deal. So if you guys like this video and you want to see more videos like this one, please make sure to subscribe. It is the easiest way that you can support this channel, and it means a lot to us. Drop it down in the comments below. What do you want to see me rebuild next? Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.